welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, the second largest city in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And right now I'm in the Fort Worth Stockyards, and this is one of these just crazy places that if you like live in the DFW area and you have someone visiting you, like a family member or something, and they want to see some like crazy cowboy stuff, you can take them down here. Some various kitschy things, go see rodeos and stuff like that. And this place actually has a lot of significance to me. So I'm actually originally from Detroit, and I moved to Texas for 3 years, about 10 years ago. And I was living in Ohio for 9 years, finishing school and also teaching. And I really just kind of restarted my life when I moved to the DFW area, in Denton specifically. And the first time I was here, we're at just some conference and I was looking for an apartment. And of course they take you to the stockyards because, you know, that's what they do. And this was the first indication to me, like, okay, you're not in Detroit. Like, this is clearly something you would never, ever see in Metro Detroit or Columbus, Ohio or anything like that. And I mean, you can just kind of look around. You got the Cowboy there. I don't know how visible he is. You got the Texas Longhorn. People are getting on over there. So because this actually was, I mean, kind of just symbolic of that move to me and something kind of special, I just want to go around and just show some of the ridiculousness of the things around here. So a couple things for sure that we want to do is there's going to be a stampede. They have these twice a day. They have these Longhorns coming through. I think it's really cool. And I want to try and see if the train's going to be on time because they have this old school train that goes around Grapevine. Speak about random quiche things. I mean, this to me is absolutely beautiful. I think this has a name on it. Yeah, it's I think they love puns here. Cowboys love puns. Do not sit on Calamity Jane or on the fence. So, you know, ha ha ha, like Calamity. Where the West begins for cowgirls and cowboys. Most places have signs not to take pictures when you try the hats on. This place doesn't. So we're gonna actually try on this Jack Daniels hat that's $70. And how cowboy am I looking? Do I look alcoholic enough? The problem is, like, this just doesn't fit my head. Most of these hats just don't fit. Like, my head is too big, so it's a little inconvenient. Same problem with the feet. But some of these are a lot more like this Stampede hat. Looks a little dirty, but we'll try it on anyways. $100, doesn't really fit at all. But it seems that the train has arrived. So we have this really old school train here, and the ride on it, it's not like that expensive. I'll get into the price of things later because, like, really this is not a cheap place. But it's like $10 to $12 for a ticket. And I think you want the $12 one if you're like me and need the air conditioning. And I think like $10 is just like completely open air, which could be nice, but it's a really hot and sunny day right now. Is it going to be on time?
We should be, yes.
Okay, so first class luxury.
Okay.
How for now?
I know, for one, just you, right?
Just me, yeah. How old is the train?
The first class cars were built in 1925, and these are open air. The bigger window one's 27.
Okay, gotcha.
Almost 100 years old.
Oh, wow. It's like 45 minutes to an hour, right?
Yes, sir. First class, car 206, 3C is your seat number. It'll be above the window.
Okay.
And 206, I believe, is that one.
Over that way. Okay, thank you. Yeah, trains themselves aren't so novel to me because I'm living in Europe and we always go between different cities and trains. But this will be kind of a cool thing to see this sort of cowboy vibe and see where it goes. And we got the tickets look like this. Found my train. So, hello. Okay, how are you doing? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this looks cool. This is very different than the Polish trains. So we are 3C. So we're right here. The train finally started moving, and we're all getting our pictures taken, probably for some social media or something. And train's moving really slow. I haven't actually been on this train yet. I don't know what to expect, even though I don't even know how many times I've been to the stockyards, but going slowly gonna see the Fort Worth city side. I don't know what we'll see. One other way, you know, you're definitely not in Detroit. You see all the cacti around too, with the cactus pears growing on it. And those are actually really delicious. Like, I never had I think you could get cactus pears really expensively in Columbus, and I never had the cactus leaves until I got here. So they have all the spines on it, and you need to boil off and let the spiky things come off, and it's kind of this like rubbery vegetable taste. It's actually kind of cool. Try it at least. Just crossed the Trinity River, and we see downtown Fort Worth over there. So I get the impression, like, you know, because I haven't done this before. I mean, it's, I think, just kind of a nice little relaxing thing to do. We stop for a little bit, and now the train's going what looks like the exact same route, but backwards. And they're telling us some story. I guess there was some giant cemetery, and there was some flood, and in some nearby building they found a bunch of things that look like human bodies. They turned out to be mannequins, so I don't know what all the local Fort Worth stories are, but you'll get to hear some of them when you're here. Should have known better. The reason they take your picture is because they'll sell you this for $15. We even have the photo printed, and I mean, that just I don't know, a little too much for me, to be honest. I mean, it looks cool, but that's even more than the ticket to the train cost. I think the train just barely arrived in time for the cattle drive, because it looks like people all have their phones ready. Yep, here we go. Need to find a spot. It's gonna get tricky. I don't want to be in the sun.
Right here. Right here.
Okay, here we go. These are big Texas Longhorn cattle. There were more than this in previous years. Maybe they ate a lot of them. I'm not sure. I'm 100% sure there are way more of those in previous years. So maybe someone in the comments could say why there are only just a few of them. This was kind of an interesting thing when I first was here, like this "Don't Mess with Texas," and I had no idea what it actually was. It looks like some sort of threatening thing, like cowboys are going to get you if you say something bad about Texas. And it's actually just about littering. So it's a campaign to you know, not leave any mess or garbage in Texas. Until there's some gunfight cowboy show coming up in a few minutes. So hearing some music and a crowd around there. So let's see if it's gonna be some cheesy, goofy Texas cowboy thing. And the train, they said it would be by the big car with the cowboy horns. Yeah, look at this. Like, I can just imagine. It's, I think, a Cadillac too. Just imagine driving something like this around Poland. So I think probably like a good just little plan over here, like 3 p.m. go on the train, 4 p.m. watch the cattle come out, hopefully there'll be more, and 4:15 go see the gun show.
I'm part of a group called the Legends of Texas. We've been entertaining since 1981, which is longer than lots of y'all has even been alive.
How about I walked up here, shoot you in the leg, and put a lip in that Marilyn Monroe walk of yours.
This is like WWE wrestling.
What an idol.
Well then, fill your hand.
I guess that gun show was full of Texas humor. It really reminded me of, I don't know, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Chris Benoit. Well, we probably shouldn't talk about Chris Benoit, but saying all kinds of things to each other in wrestling, and I don't know. Not really sure. I'm from Detroit. I don't understand it. But now I'm getting a bit hungry, and if it wasn't pretty obvious, this is a fairly conservative place. I don't think that's either a good or a bad thing. But you know, it's not going to be filled with like vegan this and that. So I'm going to have some sort of burger. Everything's going to be some, you know, meat-based thing. And I want to see what else I can try and do after this, because over there you can go on one of the Longhorns. That might be fun to try. There's some like petting zoo and some museum, and I still really haven't checked out these stores, so that's what I really want to do, to find some gifts. Rather than having to wait 20 minutes like some groups, I was willing to just sit at the bar, and because it's just me, I could get in right away. And there's a little cow looking at me back there. Hey, what's up? I'm sure this is absolutely nothing impressive. I got a plain because I don't like all the stuff on my burgers. But then, yeah, it doesn't look like anything amazing. We'll see how good it tastes. I don't normally eat burgers, so this will be kind of a fun thing to have. So let's see. Oh, it is actually very good. Maybe I haven't had any burgers in a while, so my standards are different, but I'm pretty sure this is going to hit the spot. So we can finally go and do some of the other stuff around the stockyard soon. Petting zoo entry is $5. You want to give them food, it's an additional $3. So last petting zoo I was at was Santa's reindeer on the Arctic Circle. Oh, they're already really wanting some food. That's very cute. Oh. Yep. Yeah, very hungry little guy here.
Your hands.
Oh, you want some? I want to be fair. He was telling me not to get my hand too close, and I can see why. Whoa. Well, let's try to get the cup from his mouth. I was like, well, I gave you some food, so I get to pet you right now. Hopefully, no, maybe not. Okay. Maybe like this? Okay. You just want the food. You're hungry. Yeah, he doesn't want to be petted. He just wants food. That's a little bit of a scam. If I didn't pay $3 for feed, you would have never paid any attention to me. Oh, he's still really cute though. Yeah, maybe if I just like pour it over here, like they have one thing on their mind. Need to get more food. Oh, petting zoo is really cute. This looks really kind of cool. Also, some sort of maze. But I mean, this is where like the sun is already getting to me enough that I'm just really not gonna manage it. So there's a rodeo today, and I checked, and like the cheapest tickets are something like $86. You know, the American way, of course, you're gonna probably pay a lot more than that, because there's gonna be some like tax and some various other random fees. I'll say about that. Oops, excuse me. I'll say about that in a minute. So I think it's actually probably better just to find some like small town rodeo to go in. You know, I was a year ago in one, I forget the name of the town, but it was something north of Denton, and it wasn't that expensive to go to, and you got a real authentic experience. So, but yeah, that maze would probably be pretty cool if I was better shielded against the sunlight. So I have a hard time with that. Got a mechanical bull, and there's really no shortage of things to do. We spent most of our time in there already, which is shaded from the sun, so I'm going to actually kind of venture out a little bit. I want to look for one of these Longhorns to ride. I think like last time I was here it was like $5. Oh, while we're here, there is one thing I gotta complain about. I mean, I'll say about the things I like and praise them, but this is terrible. So all the parking, they don't tell you the price or anything. It's really, really sketchy. I wanted to pay in like US dollars, so I didn't have to worry about any like currency conversion fees. So they make it really difficult. You gotta like scan this QR code, then they give a number to text, then they send a website, then you gotta give your number again, and then you pay with your credit card. And you don't find out till later it's $15, but then there's a $1 convenience fee, and I mean, it's absolutely not convenience. It's ridiculous. And then there's tax on top of it, so it costs like $17.32. So this is one thing I absolutely cannot stand about America, is the price that is written, it's not what you pay. There's always just extra bullshit tacked onto it. So there's some stuff I really like here, but definitely not that. Yeah, just while we're at it, see a guy riding the mechanical bull. So that's the only reason I don't actually even do that. Like I have a bicep tendon ruptures actually in both of my arms. and I really wouldn't want to like grab onto that thing and yank and possibly rupture one of the tendons again, just because probably they're maybe at higher risk since I've had the surgery already. So up there is the Longhorn, so let's check that out. Okay, all right, so get on this. Okay, oh, and I hope I'm not too heavy. So throw a leg over. Throw a leg over. Okay, so go over here. Oh,
There you go.
what does this guy weigh, or his girl? How big? Oh, 2,000 pounds. Oh wow. Yeah, if you can get it on here too. Yeah, look at the head. Just it's a video, so you just point it this direction. Woo! Ooh. Yeah, 2,000 pounds. Wow. It's really cool. It's gigantic.
Yeah,
Get down so they can get up.
His name's Gunner.
Gunner. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you, Gunner.
Sir.
Gunner is being very patient, and yeah, thank you.
Maybe you took me to St. Louis, later on down the river. The waiter says she's been here, but she's gone, oh boy, she's gone.
So this magnificent building over here, this is where they have the rodeos. And there's some interesting things in there I've seen before, like some rodeo hall of fame and all this. And you can't get in because, well, you know, I don't want to pay like $100 to go to the rodeo. But if you get a chance some other times, definitely this is worth checking out. And I need to now look for some of these stores. It seems a lot of them, like they were saying before, fortunately open much later, maybe even till 10. I don't know, there's some museums as well around here. So, I mean, this is like super Western and American. So here we're gonna see, gotta let the sun go down a little bit so you can see it. So here's the John Wayne, An American Experience. So it looks like a whole thing just devoted to, I think he was the Duke. I think that's what they called him. You know, I wasn't growing up watching Westerns, you know, I'm from Detroit. So I was watching very different things, so I don't actually know. So what is in here? It's okay, so maybe the museums are closing earlier because it's about 6 right now. So we can't get in there. So if you want to have the John Wayne experience, maybe show up a little bit earlier. One very important aspect of the Stockyards is the nightlife. And this is something, you know, since I'm from Detroit, I'm a northerner, I was thinking like, oh, I don't want to go to these honky tonks, you know, back when I was living here. And we used to go, oh, I didn't really like the Denton nightlife either, to be honest. So we'd go down to like Dallas, uptown and all that. And just randomly, after I was here for 2 years already, we went to some of the bars in the Stockyards and I actually really loved it. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of goofy. You're doing all these sorts of funny dances, at least I would never see in Detroit. I mean, here are some of the examples. I mean, this one here, the Cadillac of the Stockyards, it offers indoor restrooms, amazing. Air conditions, I mean, that's not really how you say it. Drink specials and dancing. There's some filthy McNasties over there, and there's some armadillo thing. And I forget which one. One of these was, one of their selling points was that all of their staff had all their teeth or something like that. So these can be fun, kind of funny, goofy places. And it can be sometimes a total just like confusing situation, what's going on. You'll see like some people looking like they're dressed for uptown Dallas. Some people look like they're dressed for the rodeo. You'll have some other just completely random person that doesn't fit in. And maybe then they're playing music from 10 years ago. And this happened at a basement bar, which is one of the ones up ahead, where I just had like no idea what was going on. I went down with one of the grad students at UNT when I was a postdoc there, and we just were like, okay, we have no idea what this is, but it's amazing. And yeah, check out this dude here too.
So my friends, this Christ is your hope tonight. This Christ is the only way to receive forgiveness of sin.
I think I overestimated how late the shops would be open. It seems some of them are open late on these Saturdays with rodeos, but I'm still seeing some that are closing at 6 or 6:30. So we're actually going all the way back to where we started to look for some things over there. Hopefully some of them will still be open because I really want to still buy some stuff. place like this, it's particularly important to stay hydrated. And one of the things that's best about America, that I love about America, free bathrooms and free water. So you have to absolutely make sure. No idea what that's doing there. Yeah, we use the little kid one because that's scaring me a little. But we absolutely have to stay hydrated. Would not be so easy to do this in Poland. And I hate the idea of even paying 1 penny for bathroom. You know, my American people watching this won't understand, but I'm in Europe, you can't do that. So free, maybe not that clean, but I don't care, it's free. I just love the way this looks to me, it's so nuts. Alligator, all kinds of things, cowboy stuff, sparkly belts. I wonder, would this look good on me? Is this my style? Already some stuff I definitely need. So I have a bull ball, so $5 for some hanging testicle keychain. I think I'm gonna have to get that. I'm sure that is exactly. And this whole room here, it's full of all kinds of like hides of things of different animals and skins, and they're talking about like doing this things with the bone marrow and all the blood and the brains, and it's just like, you know, to my inner animal lover, it's a little, you know, strange to hear, but you know, that's what this is about. You know, this is the place we're going to. It's definitely something that seems exotic to me, being away for a while. They have America knives, so you can stab someone with the American flag. Kind of want to stay here longer, but I'm gonna go visit some friends. There's still a friend of mine with 18 cats in Aledo I want to meet, then another friend from high school in Arlington, and still gonna all be today. And I'm getting kind of tired. All the sun kind of knocked me out, but it's actually really, really nice now. We have sunset, and it's finally pleasant, so I like this. I like this now. So I'm gonna head out to see my friend, and there's a ton of stuff I didn't cover. So there's all kinds of nooks and crannies, and there were some stores that were closed and lots of things I didn't see in museums. So this is really only scratching the surface with the stockyards. And I mean, I really, really like it. Obviously, you know, it's a lot easier if you have some Texas oil money and you can just buy everything here. It's getting way more expensive. The parking was ridiculous. They really need to get their head out of their ass on that, but that was, you know, the main annoyance. But a lot of other things were really nice. So I do like the energy. It's kind of just a cool, kitschy place, and I just recommend everyone go and visit it. So I'm heading out, so it'll help the channel if you, like, comment, subscribe, share all this type of stuff, and I'm out.